Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jody here. Thank you so much for clicking on another video. If you're new, welcome to the fam bam. If you're not new, thank you so much for coming back. So again, I have another client tutorial for you. As you can see by the image at the start of the video, this is a Blue Sparkly Smoky eye. So here, as you can see, I am prepping her skin. So I started off with moisturizer. So I used the JoPe Elite moisturizer and I added a little bit of SPF 30 sunscreen to protect her skin. She was going out in the day and I wanted to make sure her skin was somewhat protected from the sun. Alright, after I was done with that, I went in to prime her skin with the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer. As you can see, kind of took down some of the shine from her T-zone area, and I just went ahead and applied that again in her T-zone area. Once I was done with that, I went in and I further, mattified her skin. I used the e.l.f. mattifying primer, the new primer that they have out now, and I just sprayed that all over the skin. I started off with brows. I brushed her brows in place and I went in with a brown eyebrow pencil and I used that to fill in her brows. Once I was done filling in the brows with the pencil, I went in with some brow powder and I used the Benefit brow powder to fill it in, just to give it a little bit more definition. So after the brow pencil, I went in with the concealer just to clean up her brows, and this is the MAC NW40 that I am using to help clean up and shape her brows. Alright, so after I was finished filling in the brows, I went in and set the brows. I used the NYX clear brow gel just to keep those brows in place. So here I just went in with the Laura Mercier powder in deep, and I just used this just to set her face a little bit as I saw some shine coming through and wanted to, mattify her face just a little bit more. Alright, so now it's time for eyes. I went in and I prepped her eyes and I used the NYX eyeshadow primer in the color Skin Tone, and I used that to base her eyes to get it ready for eyeshadow. After I based her eyes with the eyeshadow primer, I set the primer with the Makeup by Mario eye primer kit that has the powder in it, and I just went ahead and I sweeped that powder over the base just to make sure that was set. So I went in with the Fumi Times Juvia's Disco palette, and I used that color in the top right hand corner called Dance With Me, and I placed that all over the lids and a little bit into the crease to create my blue smoky eye. So I went in with the Katie Times Differentiation palette, and I use the color Churro to blend out and diffuse the crease to make it less harsh. And you'll see throughout the video that I go back and forth between the blue matte color as well as the blending color Churro to you know, perfect the look. When it comes to smoky looks, it does require a lot of blending, so you'll see me go back in on the lids with the blue matte color and blend that out with the skin tone color from the Friendcation palette. If you're liking what you're seeing so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free to subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified the next time I upload, and also go ahead and share this with your friends. I'm so sorry guys, so the clip of me adding the shimmer color to the lids you know, didn't record, so I'll go ahead and tell you what I used for the lids. I went back into the Friendcation palette and I used the color in the top right hand corner known as A Moment, and I went ahead and I placed that all over the lid just to give it a little bit of pizzazz and sparkle. Then I went in with the Inglot Gel Eyeliner in the color number 77, which is a black eyeliner, and I went in, lined her eyes, and gave her a wing. So here I'm just going back in, you know, just touching up any areas that I see needs to be touched up, just making sure that everything looks good, everything looks perfect. Again, because this is a smoky look, it requires, you know, you to go back and forth between both colors, you know, blend, add, just to make sure that it comes out looking perfect. So for now, I'm done with the eyes. I'm just going to go ahead and start on skin. I went in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal color corrector in the color orange, and I used that to color correct all the dark areas on her face. So under her eyes, along her jaw, by her jawline, and anywhere else I saw any darkness. Now this color corrector is going to cancel out any darkness, so that when I start applying the foundation, that darkness does not come through under the foundation. So I went in with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the color Deep Golden. I just used a flat foundation brush to apply that to her skin, and then I blended this in with a beauty sponge, and this beauty sponge is actually from Black Opal. All right, I blended that all over her skin, and as you can see, the dark areas that I color corrected is not showing through the foundation, so hence the purpose for the orange color corrector. So for concealer, I used the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the color Butterscotch, and I placed that along the high points of her face, so under her eyes, down her nose, her forehead, chin, and jawline. And this is just going to help bring those areas forward and define her face a little bit more. So again, I went back in with my beauty sponge and I went ahead and blended that out just to make sure that everything was nice and evenly blended. Alright, time to set her face. I went in with the tried and true Sacha Buttercup powder, and I, first set her on the eyes and everywhere that I initially highlighted with the concealer. I did a light set with that, pressing that into the skin, and then afterwards I went ahead and I did a little bit of baking, just to lock that concealer in. Alright, so then I went in with the Black Radiance Contour Kit in the dark to deep, the deepest one that they have, and I use that just to, bring back some definition to her face using contour. So I went ahead and I contoured her face. So after contouring, I dusted off the setting powder using the Laura Mercier medium deep powder. I just used that to brush away that baking powder under her eyes and by her jawline, just to make sure everything looks nice and pretty. Now time for blush. I went in with the Juvia's Place Saharan Blush Palette Volume 2, and I used the color in the middle, don't remember the name of it, and I just used that to blush up her skin and give her face some life. Alright, so I went back in with the Fumi Times Juvia's Place palette, and I used the color in the top right again just to, put that under her eyes, just to finish off the eyes. I also went back into the Friendcation palette and I used the color Churro just to blend that out so that the bottom lash line is not looking too harsh. I also went back in with that sparkly blue color from the Friendcation palette, and I placed that in the center of her bottom lash line just to bring that out a little bit. I went in with a black eyeliner on her waterline just to finish off the eye makeup. So just to bring some sparkle to the inner corner of her eyes, I went in with a silver glitter, placed that in the inner corner of her eyes just to give that area a little bit of sparkle and shine. So all I'm pretty much doing here is just touch up. So I went back in with a liquid eyeliner just to define the wing a little bit more, make it a little bit darker, and just making sure that everything is to my liking. Alright, clean up on aisle 4. So I went in with a little bit of concealer to clean up the the outer lash line to the wing, just to make sure that it was sharp and looking good. So I didn't need to add lashes because she already had lashes on, so I just placed some mascara on her bottom lash line just to pull those out to complete the eye makeup. So I just went in with some highlighter. I went in with a J-Cat highlighter. I don't remember the name of the color of this highlighter. If I can find it, I'll go ahead and post it in the description box. But I just went in and highlighted her, the high points of her face, her jawline, bridge of the nose, a little bit on her forehead, chin, and Cupid's bow. So I went back in with blush just to intensify that a little bit more. Once I was done with that, I sprayed her face with the e.l.f. mattifying mist just to, set everything in place. I also put some Vaseline on her, Vaseline lip treatment on her lips, just to prepare the lips for the lip color coming up. So I lined her lip with the MAC Chestnut lip liner and filled that in a little bit and blended that in. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, I did struggle a little bit trying to figure out what lip color I would use. You'll see where I started off with a pale pink color. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't giving me what I was looking for. So on top of that, I placed a little bit of a brighter pink color to see if I could, pump up the color a little bit more. Still didn't look bad, but still wasn't giving me what I was looking for as well. So throughout the rest of the video, you will see where I wipe the color off and I tried again with a different color. Now the last color, which is a final color, which I think looked better, was a little bit of a red, almost wine color. That's the color I ended up using. It looked better because I think it matched the blush a little bit more. I made sure I blended in that red color just to make sure it wasn't, it looked somewhat like a lip stain as opposed to, a bright or a dark red lip. All right, so if you're liking what you're seeing, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the video and hit that notification bell to be notified the next time I upload my videos. All right, so hope you enjoy and keep an eye out for more videos to come.